Hey everybody, welcome back to What Are You Chasing? Today, my guest coach is Penny Maxfield. I'm going to let Penny go ahead and tell you a little bit about herself. Hi Penny, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. It's great to be here. Thank you for.
You're welcome.
Um, I I have I come from a different background than a lot of the people in three Ps, where I have a very heavily religious background, and I think that makes a complete difference in my story. But it also is proof that three principles fit in any person's life. It doesn't matter where you where you come from and where your belief systems are. That three principles is a great foundation base for any belief system. I i grew up with a lot of anxiety, and I was always looking for ways to heal. I just always had this drive to heal, and I think it's a gift that I was given. I went from thing to thing to thing, trying to find answers and to understand why, when I've been taught, that I am a precious child of God, I have infinite worth, all of these things that I was taught all of my life. But I didn't feel it. And I didn't know, well, you have all of this, so you feel you should feel joy. I'm like, but I don't. At least I thought I didn't. I did more than I acknowledged. But I like, why? Why? What is wrong with me? Why can't I feel these things when I know that they're true? I know in my heart that it was true, but it didn't seem like I experienced it. And I've gained ground in doing better and better through all the various things I did. A lot of different methodologies in counseling, and I'm certified in emotional freedom technique, and I've learned a lot in energy medicine and, well, energy work in general, and all of these things that I've tried. And when I heard, I even signed up for the NLP and hypnosis with David Key, and I learned from that as well. But then I ignored, because to me, oh, well, that's just emails. They all do that. And I ignored his emails until somehow one caught my eye that said, I'm giving this free class. So I went to this free class and I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then he offered this um, challenge. I forgot what he called it. But anyway, and it was, well, it went over Thanksgiving, actually. Because he lives in the UK. But I, when I did that, and hearing him, I was like, all right, if this is anywhere within my budget, there's no way I'm not doing this. I had promised my husband I wouldn't spend any more because I'd already spent so much on this. So I was like, okay, I have money over here. As soon as he said the price, okay, I figured out exactly how to do this without affecting our family budget at all. And I went for it. And it has been the best thing for me because it changed me. I
Yeah,
was holding on to my religion so tightly because that was the place where I felt peace. But I was holding on to it tightly in a way that I was afraid, oh, but if I accept this, then I might lose my testimony, or I might fall apart here, or I might this, or, there was still way too much fear base in it. And gaining the three P's, knowing that I could let go of thought. I mean, I'd even done coaching with someone else who had taught, she said a thought becomes, creates a feeling, which creates an action, which creates a result. And I, even going through that, I'm like, that helped. I'm like, why didn't anybody teach me that in counseling?
right.
But then with David taking it one step further, you don't even have to think, oh, wow, I
Right?
don't. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I get that.
because even with that, well, so yeah, but then I would still get in my head too much. I'm like, oh, but I thought that, so I'm getting this result and this emotion, and now knowing that an emotion is a gift,
Mm.
every emotion, and I love also the way that in the book "Dying to Be Me" by Anita Morjani,
Mhm.
she said that love is like a prism. It's like a prism that when the light, when the light filters through the prism and you see all the different colors, that's what love becomes, because in mortality, because of our senses and the limits that our physical bodies give us here, all emotion is love,
Mhm.
even the ones that we think are uncomfortable. And so it's gone through this prism and it's come out as all these different emotions, and each one of them is a gift that has a message to
Yeah,
us. And if we say, oh well, I don't like that color in the spectrum, then the light becomes different. It's not the same thing. We just, like, if we have all these emotions, we need every single one of the emotions in this life, because each one is like you said, like love letters, like it's just amazing.
yeah, that was beautiful. If one, if you just like one color, that changes that whole light that's coming from the prism. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard, that's beautiful. I just want to say that was beautiful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's fine. That was what and it
Yeah.
wasn't me, it was Anita, not that came up with that, not me, but yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, I'm kind of an eclectic because of all the things I've learned in my journey to heal, that I appreciate all of these different things. And so I like the three P's that are my foundation now. And I
Mhm.
like keeping it that as the foundation and just pulling everything in, because for me, having all these different tools, all the and things helps me to keep going on, but having that basis, knowing, oh, that's a thought. I don't have to think that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'm feeling this way. It's okay. I can just let it pass.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with me.
That's a big one.
That was the biggest gift I've ever been given.
Yeah.
I mean, I to go from being taught it to knowing it,
Yeah. And I love
knowing it.
that
I
you,
mean, or actually knowing it, but living it. Because I knew deep within, but knowing deep within still isn't the same as experiencing it.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I'll point out something there that's maybe a little bit. It's like you knew it intellectually, but knowing it, like
yeah.
the first time you said it, it really sank with me. That deep knowing. Yeah. So there's, I just wanted to point that out. Like you were reframing
No,
it, but I thought the way you said it first was just beautiful because it is. You go,
right. What I'm saying, but like I said in the very beginning, I did know deep, deep, deep within, but it
right.
wasn't enough, because there was still enough in my thoughts and in my brain going, yeah, but you
Uh,
did this and this and this and this. So, yeah, there's still, you got to do better than that for it to really be true. Even though I knew it was true, I still made it not true in my head.
yeah. Yeah, we all do that, I think,
Hmm.
obviously, at some point in our lives.
Yeah. And so it's, like I said, I just love the three P's. I just,
I'm
I
gonna
love
agree.
this. I love this knowledge, because all of these things, with all of these things I learned, and I learned so much, and I changed so much.
Yeah.
But the anxiety never fully went away.
Right.
I was able to finally get a handle on my guilt and shame, at least mostly. But then after getting in three Ps, I realized, oh my goodness, I still have that much shame. Wow.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
and now that's gone, mostly. But I don't claim that anything is gone permanently because it doesn't need to be, because I notice it and then it's like, oh, okay, where did my thoughts go?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's just beautiful. Everything's beautiful. I mean, the life is beautiful now.
Yeah. And I like that you said that too, because it's not that there weren't beautiful times in life before, I'm sure
Hmm.
there's times that you can think
Oh, yeah.
back and think, oh, life is beautiful, right? But with the principles and in living the principles, like you said, living this understanding, life is beautiful takes on a whole different meaning for me personally. And yeah,
Yeah.
whole different meaning.
Yeah. Like living in the beauty and the knowing along with the pain that comes, and living in both at the same time is a whole lot different than living in the pain,
Yeah. And
because pain's gonna come.
absolutely. And living in both of them, like you said, at the same time, but also having that deep knowing that you're okay.
Uh-huh.
You- That right there in itself is priceless.
It is.
That's something, I wish I just could just hand out to everybody and say, here you go.
I know. That's like, it's like we want to be missionaries for the three Ps. We want to get out there and come on, come on, come on, do it. But if people aren't ready, they've
You're
got to
right.
do it at their own pace. Everybody's got to be in their own space, in their own time.
You're right. You're absolutely right. We could talk all day long to somebody, but if they're not ready, they'll
Yeah,
never ever hear what we're trying to say. And I don't mean they physically can't hear our words. I mean,
right.
it'll never
Be,
get
well, like in Sydney Banks' books, he always talks about hearing. No, you didn't hear.
right.
No, no, I heard you. No, you didn't hear.
Right. Right. Exactly. Just like there's listening and listening. There he talks,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love the way that Sydney Banks did that all in story form. And I
Yeah.
think I agree with David Key that Dear Eliza is my favorite.
That's one I haven't read. I'm gonna have to read it.
It's so good.
I tell myself all the time that I want to read that one, and I don't know why I haven't yet because I have heard from so many people that that is just, and I've loved all the
It's
other ones I've read. So
it made me cry. The other ones I just listened to
really,
and went, oh, and I soaked it in and all of this. But Dear Eliza made me cry.
okay, I'm getting it today. So I so am.
It's so good.
Yeah, I need to read
It's like, but it was a healing cry. It's like, oh my goodness, that's the mom I want to be. The
it.
way
Yeah.
she talks about her mom and the way her mom was, and it's like, that's why it made me cry. But you know what?
Oh,
It's a healing. It's a
yeah.
healing cry.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet the way she was, but I'm changing. And every time we change, that's a gift to our family. The more light, the more we're authentic selves, the more we are the magnificence we are,
Yeah.
the more we are a gift to our family, even though we're still doing this and this and this that we'd rather do better.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah.
but
That,
we're, but being, yes, that's, and knowing that just being, living in my passion. I get this a lot of this, not just from Anita Morjani, but she really emphasized it and really helped me solidify this in my mind, that living in my passion and being my magnificent self
yeah,
is the best gift I can give the world, because if I try and change the world, I am judging the world.
yeah,
But if I work on being all those things, I change the world, because the more light that we bring, the higher the world gets.
mhm,
And there's always going to be those that are unwilling to see the light.
yeah,
And right now in the world, there's getting to be more of a separation between those that want light and those that don't.
yes,
But we still raise the world as a whole, and they, whether they accept it or not.
yeah, it's true. That's a great point.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that she says that that's also the way they word it when you do energy work. And yeah,
Yeah,
and so for me, sometimes, because of my history of anxiety, sometimes I have a harder time still calming down when I'll start going in a little bit into anxiety or something. And for me, doing the groundings and stuff like that is what really helps me. And I think that, like I said, the three P's fits so well with all of these different methods. It's like a glove, like really just meshes. Because if it's, no matter what the belief system or religion,
mhm,
if we believe in any kind of a higher power,
right.
they all go together.
Yeah, they're all pointing to the same thing.
And
Yes.
there's been studies. I saw a podcast on that once. There's actually been studies where they've been studying brain scans of people, and those that believe in a higher power have active parts of their brain that work that other people that do not believe in a higher power do not have. It's that much more activity, and your life is fuller.
Isn't that cool?
It is.
I didn't
I thought
know.
that was really cool.
That's very cool. I did not know that. And you know what I
Well,
find interesting a little bit, and maybe you can like, is because when you come to the principles, one of and in a lot of um, different things like in grounding and all that kind of stuff. But when you come to the principles, one of the key thing is a quiet mind. So isn't it interesting
yeah,
that with the quiet mind and believing, in higher power, but not having a busy mind, that on those that research that it would show more of our brain, is that we said, like being used
right.
than someone who doesn't believe in a higher power. I
Well,
find that really interesting.
most people that don't believe in a higher power are uh, living in a victim, more of a victim mentality, though.
True. Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's just, like I said, it's just amazing, the whole thing. I mean, I've noticed. I mean, I've always been, I've been, one of my other gifts is having that deep knowing.
Mhm.
That's how I've been able to listen to the spirit, or that inner wisdom, however you want to word it. I've always had that, and I would get answers that way. But since I started with the three P's and been able to let go of so much thinking, things just happen all the time. Like that podcast I just mentioned,
Mhm.
it just showed up. I had another one that, that was about something, that fit with what I was learning in the Wild Fit program I'm doing. And it explained something else, and it just, I was listening to something else on Spotify, and it just came up next in the feed, and I'm like, ooh, I want to hear that. don't know who it was. I don't, I mean, they said his name in the beginning, but I don't remember and I don't have a way to find it. But I learned something. And I've just thing after thing after thing, I've just been led, things like that have just been happening.
Right.
Just the next thing, like, in that other podcast, it just showed up in the recommended things. I'm like, who? And clicked on it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't remember her name. I don't, but I'm just, everything is just getting more and more enhanced and it's all happening right at the right time. And I'm going to kind of go into the little bit on my weight loss, but because I wanted to talk about that and how 3Ps has made a difference there.
Yeah,
I
please.
mean, I mean, releasing weight. I got it. I'm working on changing that wording. I
Oh,
mean,
you know what? It's whatever
because I'm
feels
not
good to you.
losing anything. There's nothing that I'm gonna miss. But
Right.
but I've tried so many different things and I've been into nutrition. It's been a hobby of mine and I had all this knowledge and I'm like, what's the matter with me? Why can't I follow through with this? And why do I always follow, and it was because of my thinking. And I knew that when I did this, that I would, that it'd be okay. That once I got my mind in under, figured out my brain, that things would be okay. And that when I tried again and having 3Ps, I was like, okay, now I know I'm going to lose weight. I don't know when and I don't know how, but I'm going to lose weight. And so what happens? I got the flu. I got one of the worst cases of flu I've ever had. It was one that was going around that attacked both the gut and the head at the respiratory at the same time, and I was miserable.
My bad.
And so I got this ad on my phone from Mind Valley, and I'm like, okay, I don't like to do any kind of drugs. That's my personal choice. So I don't do it over the counter, prescription, anything. I just don't like it. And I was like, I need something. And I'm like, meditations. I'm signing up. I have 2 weeks and I could cancel it if I want, but it's only $400. I canceled these other things. It's still okay, because it's less than what I canceled. So I'm good.
Right.
And they said, they recommended Wild Fit. They recommended, you know, um, Jeffrey Allen, who does energy work, which I already love energy work, as I've said, and a few other things. And I was like, all right. And so I starts explaining WildFit. I was like, wow, I guess I'm doing this now. And then like today, I just started doing a fast today. Now, in the past, I've tried to do a 3-day fast because it's supposed to be liquid fast. Are supposed to be so good for you.
Right.
I made it, I think, a day and a half before I collapsed. I was like, I'm so hungry, I can't stand it. But I'm going to succeed. This whole thing, I know I'm going to succeed, and that's what's so beautiful about this is not, oh, here I'm trying again. I'm succeeding. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, how long is it going to last? I plateaued at this point before. What's the.
Yeah,
And
all that
now,
thinking.
it's all that thinking, and in the Wild Fit, Eric Meads says, you know what a plateau is? It's a chance for your body to catch up, a chance for your skin to catch up with things. It doesn't mean anything. It means your body's doing what it's supposed to do.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? In the fitness industry, in nutrition industry, when you are on a weight loss journey, um, I'm sorry, weight release journey, um, yeah, you hear the, oh, I plateaued, right? And they teach
Yeah.
you about plateaus, and they teach you that for the most part, I've been taught, that you've hit a wall, that's a negative thing, like we're gonna have to readjust something now. So I like the way that or I'm sorry, that woman worded it
No, it's
because,
actually it's a man, but yeah.
oh, I'm sorry,
It's
man.
okay. Eric.
Um,
Eric. Admits. I said it.
Maybe it's because I was picturing my nutritionist in my head. Um,
Yeah,
she's
it's
a
okay.
woman. But yeah, no, that's beautiful then the way that he puts it because yeah, a lot of times I think we're made to feel bad when we plateau. Like as if we're,
Yeah.
does that make any sense to you? Because I know to me it does.
Well, yeah, and I was just listening to something yesterday. I've been using Mind Valley extensively since I started it. It's like this is worth it. This has been worth every penny to me. And so that's what they said. It's like, well, why? When we're in school, what do they do? Oh, well, she's struggling in this subject, so we need to work harder on this. Why don't we work on what we're good at? Because that's one of the best things that we need.
Yeah,
We need to do if we're focusing on what we're good at, then we're building our confidence
absolutely.
instead of focusing on, oh, I'm failing in this area. I better work really hard on that. Well, that was a good portion of my anxiety
Yeah,
because I was always trying to do better in this and that and the other thing because I was so weak there. Well, maybe the way that weak things become strong is that we quit focusing on them and then suddenly they start doing better.
yeah. It's kind of like in our thinking and feeding a negative thought.
Well, and everything's on a pendulum. That's one of the things I learned years ago. I mean, to use a Christian term because it's just the easiest thing for me to think of,
I
you
understand
know,
Christian terms. I'm a Christian.
mercy
Hmm.
and justice. Both are love.
Hmm.
And when we're swinging too far this way, towards the justice side, then the Lord says, oh, no, no. When he starts talking about mercy things. When you swing too far to the mercy side, he's like, oh, nope, nope, you got to get in line. It's about finding that balance in the pendulum, so and each of our weaknesses are that way.
Mhm.
We've got this, and even things like being an empath. I'm an empath.
Same.
Well, my empathy can be really good on one side where I can really help and understand people. And on this side, I'm taking on too much of their stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, guilty of that in the
It's
past.
both a curse and a blessing.
Oh my gosh, I used to say the same thing. The
It
exact
is.
words
It's a
about being
curse
an
and a
empath.
blessing. But
Yeah.
when you balance,
Hmm.
it's you get the blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of that for me is the realization and the understanding of the principles that, you know, even though our mind is in control of everything and there is a connectedness to everyone and everything, we're our own individuals. So our own perceptions, our own realities of things. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that, Penny. I do it all the time. So
That's okay.
it'll come back to me and then I'll say it. I mean, I do
Okay.
it pretty much every episode. So why would this one
It's
be different?
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. At least I'm not the way I used to be, where my brain was going so fast. I still do it a little bit, but I would start on some subject and I would start saying it, and my brain was so far ahead of my speaking that I would leave out the middle and start here, and then it didn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, for me now, I just, I'll have a thought and it'll go away and then I'll be like, oh, well, it'll come back.
I
And
know.
if it
I've
doesn't, then oh well.
And now I've started noticing how much I pause in my speech. Like all of the major 3P people, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to do that now.
Isn't
And I
it
used to,
funny?
and it used to be that I would be the one trying to fill the pause.
Mm-hmm. That, oh my gosh, fill the pause. Yeah.
Yeah, fill the
Yeah.
pause. Got it. There's not enough conversation going on. What's this?
Yeah. It's almost like it's because that whole, it's so much conditioning that you can see sometimes
Yeah,
when you have this understanding, you reflect a little bit just right there. Like it's because, we're taught that there's that awkward silence, right?
yeah. Except it's not really awkward. It's beautiful.
It's only awkward if we think it's awkward, right?
Exactly.
It is beautiful. I love the pause. I can talk about the pause in almost every episode. I really do because it has been a tremendous thing in my life because I was a reactor a lot of times and not a
Mhm.
nice reactor. And I would react
Me
pretty poorly
too.
to situations and pretty quickly.
Yeah,
And the fact that and I never ever thought of myself of having a busy mind until my mind actually slowed down. And then did have capacity for space and have that pause. Then I was like,
yeah.
oh, wow, I didn't
Oh, I
realize.
know. And even with me, where I'd done all of that work and all of this healing and thinking, wow, this is so amazing. And then starting 3 p.m., like blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing good,
Hmm.
I thought. Well, I mean, not that I wasn't, but
Not, yeah.
like comparatively, you know?
Yeah. Nothing compares though to these truths of the three principles to me, Um,
No, and it's not that it wasn't taught.
right.
All like I said, I was taught a lot of these things all my life growing up, but well, they were worded different. For one, I didn't get it until I came into this. I didn't get it. Didn't matter if it was there. I did not get it.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, I can reflect on, things in my life and be like, oh, wow, okay. That was my wisdom talking to me. And, yeah, now I get it.
No.
Now when my
Yes.
wisdom talks,
And and
I'm like,
even when I don't, I know that I will when the time is right.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
yeah, in fact, oh, I forgot I was going to do that. Oh well, I don't know where I put the words. I don't know if I remember them all. But maybe I do. That song. That's
Yeah,
one of the ways that I've been blessed in my healing process is music. I've been given songs to help me.
yeah. And
So
that one that you,
that's the one I was thinking of.
the
Yeah,
one where you
the
you
Three
word it,
Principles song.
yeah, it's worded so beautifully.
Well, I'll
And
try and see. If I don't remember it all, it'll be okay.
yeah, if you don't remember it all, it's fine.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna know but you and me, maybe because you know what I
that's
mean?
true. That
Yeah.
is true. I actually used to because music has been part of me for all my life, and I know when I used to sing in church or something, and you know, people would compliment me, and I say, yeah, but I messed up right here, or because I was such a perfectionist. And I finally had a friend say, Penny, just say thank you. It was a pretty good life lesson.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah, just say thank you.
We're so quick to point out what we did wrong instead of just
Yeah.
accepting the compliment. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point.
all right, let's see how this goes. See if I
Let's
remember it.
go for
All
it.
right. We are always one thought away, just one thought away from perfect mental health. Thoughts are always coming, some demanding to be heard. At times it's overwhelming, sometimes it's just absurd. But I am filled with choices, choose what I choose to see. Of all those many voices, Uh, now I'm already forgetting words.
Hey,
That's okay. Something about me. But anyway,
that's gorgeous. It was
but yeah,
gorgeous.
I've all those many voices, but yeah. But anyway, but wisdom comes in the right time for me. 'Cause in the quiet of my heart, in the quiet of my mind, I simply know. Yeah, I that was the middle ones that I wasn't sure of, but that's okay. It's still, I got part of it, still gives the 3P message.
It absolutely does. It's beautiful, and you sing beautifully. I've told you that before, and I'll tell you it again. You do
Thank
sing
you.
beautifully,
Well, I
and
mean, but I do have the advantage of having voice lessons.
yeah, but you know what? People can take voice lessons all they want and never actually sound that good. So,
Thank
just
you.
saying, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. But when I first listened to that song, when you shared it,
Yeah,
oh my God, I was in awe of the words. Okay, because I'm a word person, so I love writing. I love to write.
yeah, so do
And
I.
so I love lyrics and just listening to how you put those words together, explaining the three principles through a song. Ah, it was beautiful. I absolutely adored it. I know I told you that, but I'll tell you it
Well,
again and
it
again.
was it was a gift. That's part of being listening, of being able to listen.
Yeah.
Slowing the mind and being able to listen. I mean, I was given other gifts, songs that way as a gift, but it was when something happened that I pretty much almost had to be hit over the head. I'm trying to talk to you,
Yeah.
or else, well, the one song, one, I have one that's I Am Enough, and it was given to me because I'd read a book by Deepak Chopra, and
Mhm.
I don't remember which one, but he said that what we all want to know is that we are enough. That's what everyone wants to know. And that when those thoughts come, that your thoughts, your feelings, they are not you. And you just tell them, you are not me. I am enough. And I just was driving down the road one day and just all these thoughts were coming in, about these things. And it was actually somewhat positive. But I just went, yeah, right. I'm not even doing the music I was feeling inspired to do. And out loud, I said, no, you are not me. I am enough. And boom, the song was in my head.
Ah, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's kind of like with writing with me, what happens
Yeah.
is like all of a sudden, if you know what, all of a sudden it just a phrase comes to mind and I'm like, oh, I could
Yeah.
really write something about that. That's a great title. That's kind of how it happens for me.
Yeah. Well, and Anita Morjani talked about how communication is unlike our physical bodies in the other realm. It was just, you just felt and knew what the other person's intent was. and
Yeah.
and that's kind of how the inspiration comes, because I had the tune of the chorus in my mind, and I had the whole plan of it, but I just knew what I was doing, and then I had to come home later and figure out the words. It just came.
Yeah.
And so it's such a totally different experience than gaining things through words.
Right. Right. I love it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and I wanted to do one thing with you, another thing to show you just an example of how 3Ps and other modalities work together. So I would like to do a grounding with you.
Absolutely.
And because I think it's just beautiful and the way that it's done.
Okay.
So what I'm going to have you do first, so I'd like you to look across the room
Okay.
and where your eyes rest naturally.
Okay.
And so what you're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath and smile, because a smile is the same energy as acceptance. So So as you look, and then you get present behind your eyes. And then go ahead and breathe your eyes closed. And then I'd like you to bring your focus down to your root chakra, which is at the base of the spine. And then you're going to send an energy cord from your root chakra to the center of the earth. And in the center of the earth, as you imagine all the energy there, you're going to find a spot that just the type of energy you need for today. And you're going to attach the grounding cord there. And you're going to take that grounding cord and you're going to widen it. Just make it so that it's the full width of your entire body. And then there's a waterfall going down, just cascading down that grounding cord to the center of the earth. And one thing that Jeffrey Allen teaches is that we often think that our spirit is in our body, but it's actually that our body is in our spirit. And C.S. Lewis also said, he said, we do not have a soul. We are a soul. What we have is a body. And so that being said, that sometimes when we feel emotions or physical things in our body, sometimes our spirit wants to back away a little bit. And so we want to be one with our spirit and our body. And so that water from the waterfall is going to begin to bubble up. And it's going to bubble, unbubble until it gets to the top of your head. And it's going to be integrating your spirit fully with your body and pushing out any foreign energies that might have snuck in where your spirit pulled back. And that's all going to be released. And it's going to come back down to the waterfall, and all of that is going to cascade to the center of the earth. It's gone. And we're going to bring our focus back down to the grounding on the bottom, and we're going to feel like there's conduits opening up in the bottom of your feet. And you're going to pull that energy in through your feet. It's going to swirl around your knees, creating balance in the body, and all the way up your legs, and filling your root chakra, your pelvic floor, and all of that area down there. And just purifying, pulling any stuck energies and anything that you might have, in your body, and it's going to all go back down the waterfall, and it's gone. And then you're going to take your awareness and now bring it to your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. You're going to open another conduit there. And that conduit is going to bring all of the energy from the cosmos, from heaven, however you want to think of it. Angels, ancestors, God, all of that love and light that's out there is going to come in through that. The conduit in the top of your head is going to go down your back, and it's going to go down. It's going to purify your root chakra the rest of the way, and then it's going to come up to the second chakra and purify that to the third chakra, which is your power center right there at the solar plexus, your fourth chakra, which is your heart, your throat chakra, which is communication, your third eye chakra in the center of your forehead, and then back out, and it's going to cascade down the outside of your aura, strengthening your aura, and you're going to pull in your aura all within an arm's length of your body all the way around, so it's pulled in so that you're not mixing with other people's energy unless you choose to. You're going to pull all of your energy that could be anywhere else where you have thoughts of the past, accidentally given to someone else, anywhere it might be. You're going to pull all that energy in with to yourself. And you're going to create a rose, a permission rose, and you're going to put it out in front of you in your aura. And now, when you're interacting with people today, your permission rose is going to go into see their energy, so energy around in their aura, and you're going to see, okay, now this is this energy that's good for me today, that I could participate, would be good for me to feel today. And if it's not going to be good for you at this time, then your permission rose says no, and you don't accept any of their energy. And you also have the opportunity to give a gift, a copy of that permission rose to that person, so that they then have the freedom to keep their energy and not mingle it if it isn't right for them. And you're giving that gift. And your aura is strengthened. You're filled with energy that has been circulating in your upper and lower half of your body. And you're grounded, and it feels so beautiful. And you take your awareness back to the center of your head. And if you if you go a little bit back and a little bit up, there's a sweet spot where you can just feel that peace, which is of the inner mind, the higher mind. And I like to take another energy cord from the higher mind to my heart, and then from my heart to my higher power, which for me is Christ, but it can be any way that you think of your higher power. And feel that connection, that choice of connection to the higher power, which helps you connect better, get your inspiration better. And just really feel that connection, that love, the belief in that you can feel from that connection in you, that because your higher power can see your magnificence. Now take another breath and smile. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That was amazing.
I love it. I did forget one part, because he doesn't say it. He only says it sometimes in all of these. But I mean, I've just made my own version of what I've been learning from Jeffrey Allen. But he he calls it, like how we say that we can slow down the mind and we can choose, like the how many miles an hour and all of that. But way he does it is he calls it the analyzer, and he says it's picture it like a volume button going up and down. And so there are times when we actually need to have to use analysis. It's not very often, but there are times when you need to weigh things back and forth. And so then you can choose to turn it up for a short time, but then you can choose to turn it right back down anytime you want, that volume. So sometimes in his meditations, he'll say, turn your analyzer off or turn it down. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
but a lot of it is, it's things that I came up with, because when he talked about bringing your spirit in with your body, I'm the one who came up with that idea of bubbling up and doing it that way, because I think that I thought, oh, that works.
yeah. You need to
But I'm
record
sure that
that.
that was inspiration. No, I shouldn't say I came up with it. I'm sure it wasn't me. You
Well, you need to record that.
do. I
Okay.
haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. I do it different every time. I've been practicing. I'm getting good at it because I did it with my cousin once, and she's like, "Oh, I like this," and so I call her almost every day. I call her almost every morning, and we do a grounding exercise. So I'm getting pretty practiced.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And yeah, it was, and then afterwards, and I just
Yeah,
thought, oh my gosh, we need to record it.
you feel so much peace.
Yeah.
And it helps you. It just makes so much difference in the day. And, other little things, there's lots of ways to be grounded, like,
Mhm.
walking barefoot on the grass, holding a piece of ice, like that. But the thing about doing this is that you can do this. You don't have to have anything specific.
Right.
You can just like, oh, I don't feel grounded. And you just imagine, oh, wait, I want to be grounded. Okay. Send a cord to the middle of the earth. Done.
Yeah.
You're done. It's that fast.
I love it. There was,
And then
yeah,
being grounded to your higher power, that's just a whole different element. Being grounded to the earth, it gives you solidity.
right.
Being grounded to your higher power, I added that too because he doesn't do that.
I loved that part, by the way.
But yeah, because I really feel that connection because getting inspiration is a choice. And adding that extra connection
Yeah.
gives you more of a choice to be able to receive the inspiration or whatever, the insights.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just in a good feeling from all that. That just,
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's why I love it so much. That's why I call myself an eclectic,
yeah.
because I love all of the pulling all of the other things, but I also recognize that it's because of what I know, what I'm finally fully know,
Yes.
that I am amazing, that I am magnificent, that I
You
am
are.
a diamond. We all are.
Yes, we are.
No, we all are,
Mhm.
no matter what. It doesn't matter what you've been through.
Right.
And Anita words it that another thing from Anita, because I love Anita.
That's
I've loved
okay.
that book. I've loved that book, because people ask her, well, if there's no judgment on the other side, is what she said. She felt no judgment
Right.
whatsoever
Right.
on the other side. And they said, if those if if that's true, then what about all the criminals in the world?
Right.
And she said, when you really think about what they need is more compassion, because who would do those things if they had any measure of self-respect? Some of the worst heinous crimes are things that people have done to others because they feel like they deserve it themselves.
Yeah. And
And
she,
just listening to her, it just, I it made me kind of want to work with people in prisons and really and help them see, because if we can help everyone see how amazing and valuable they are,
yes. Yeah.
it will change the world. Even um, Jack Pransky said, I think it was Jack Pransky. I don't know. It's a 3P quote anyway. That if the only thing we let go of is fear, that would change the world. If all we did is live in just a little bit less fear, it would change the world.
Yeah. So, and not to, I just, for anybody out there, George Pransky, right?
Oh no, Jack Pransky too. It's
Okay.
his son.
Okay. I didn't know if it
He
was
does
George
it
that said
too.
it
He does
or
it
not.
too. I think that might not have been him. I think that might have actually been Sydney Banks. But anyway, I pulled up a list because I've been trying to do, quotes on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And so I pulled up a list of 3P's quotes. I did a search on 3P's quotes, and one of them was really good. It was by Jack Pransky.
Yeah, okay. I haven't,
I just did a
I know
Google
his
search
daughter,
on that. Yeah.
I know his daughter,
Well,
worked in the principal. I didn't know his son did too.
at least I think it's his son. I guess maybe that's an assumption because of the
No,
last
you
name.
could be real. I don't
I
know.
could be wrong.
You could be right. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Oh
it was a
no.
beautiful quote
I
that you
I
saw.
just made an assumption.
That's okay.
I just made
Like
an assumption. Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was a beautiful quote, and it doesn't really matter where it came from, does it?
Yeah. I
It's the
think,
message.
yeah, that the
The message.
message, yeah, because there's some, I mean, yeah, if you do a search on three principles quotes,
Yeah.
there's some beautiful ones there. There's some amazing ones. So yeah, that's I'm starting. Like I said, I'm pulling them up and starting to put them gradually on my Facebook page
Yeah.
because they're pretty cool.
They really are. They really are. And you know what? This is just a, and if you don't know, you don't know. It's This is just my like question in my head because sometimes I put, quotes, maybe not so much principles, but maybe Eckhart Tolle, or something, an enlightened individual.
Right.
Um, and sometimes I wonder though, I've just already heard the answer by, from wisdom, or mind. You know, do people get it when they read it? But yeah, mine already told
Maybe.
me they get it when they're supposed to.
Exactly. And I would have said that too because, in my first marriage where it was challenging, that's, I really gained this from that because, when I was told to leave, through inspiration, I was told it was time to leave. All of these things came back, like things, like someone who said, he's not very supportive, is he? Or something like that, it all came back to help me have the courage to leave. And the inspiration came in the way that I was able to hear it because if I was told to leave because I needed to leave for myself, I wouldn't have listened. But I was told to leave for my kids.
Yeah.
I listened.
Yeah.
I
I get
listened to
that.
that.
I,
And that's what's so beautiful about insights is that it always comes at the time and in the way that you can accept it.
yeah,
And that's why it's so beautiful that there's so many different ways for people
for sure.
to learn this because everyone's in a different place
Yes, they are. Yeah,
and it's okay.
absolutely. 100%.
And I don't need to worry about the fact that my teenage daughter has had some rebellion because guess what? You know what that means? She's got a really strong spirit and look what's going to benefit how that's going to benefit her in the future.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter because she's doing what she's supposed to learn the lessons that she's supposed to learn in life.
yeah,
And it's okay.
yeah. If we could just stop to realize that it's okay.
And when I
Yeah,
get frustrated, I'm still okay.
right. And it's okay to get frustrated.
Yeah.
It's normal human emotion. It's going to happen. But just to know that you're still okay, though.
Yeah. And I just to learn to see, and I'm still, I think it's probably hardest with your own family that's so close to you, but to learn
Mhm.
to see their magnificence and to say the right things, that's kind of where my goals are right now. Is like to see it better.
Yeah, I think yeah, no, I think it's probably a goal that we all have is seeing it better or deeper or any way you want to phrase that because those kind of mean the same thing to me. But I get it. Like one of the things that I saw differently after my shift, was my mother,
Mhm.
who I didn't really have a good relationship with growing up, especially in my teenage years at all. And after my shift and this understanding, I mean, and one day it just hit me like, oh my She's a person. It's so hard for for children, even adult children, to see their parents as human beings, equipped with the same kinds of feelings and emotions. And like you had said earlier in the podcast, we don't know what the heck we're doing when we become parents. It's a new role to us. We're learning to be parents as this baby's coming into the world and growing up and learning the world around them. And so yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're all learning. And so, yes, that we have trauma in our formative years
mhm,
is just normal.
yeah,
It's just part of the experience. And I think that part of the reason we are here in this existence is to learn to see our magnificence in spite of all of the challenges that are surrounding us all of the time. We are here to learn how magnificent we are
yeah,
with without having that direct connection with God that we had before.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know,
Uh-huh.
I mean, we still have it, but it's still filtered through our bodies, which is not the same.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing changed except for the physical.
Well, yeah, 100%.
And we're all figuring out how to navigate the physical. And there's lessons that we get to learn from doing so.
Yes, there is. There always will be. Enlightened or not enlightened, there's always lessons.
Well, true. True. I
Yep.
mean, but that's the thing is that Anita also said, I keep going back to her.
Right.
She also said that she understood. She understood why she made the decisions that she made
Yeah.
and what she was to learn from it. So once she got that, so we're here to learn. And when we leave here, this existence, we will have gained so much.
Yeah.
And we will understand on the other side if we choose to allow ourselves to. I mean, this is going back to religion, but I don't believe in hellfire and damnation.
Neither do I, and I'm a Christian.
I am Christian too. I do believe in the judgment, but I do not
Mhm.
believe that our heavenly parents and Jesus Christ, that they didn't come here, they didn't give us agency and the ability to choose for them to say, you're going here and you're going here. I do believe in the judgment, but I believe that we are judging ourselves.
Yeah.
It isn't them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And if we believe and stay firm that we belong in hell, well, yeah, we'll end up there. And I don't think it's true just in the next life. I think it's true here
Hmm. Wow.
because
Oh,
if
yeah.
we believe in hell, we live it.
Hmm.
We live it now.
Hmm.
I have lived it,
Yeah.
and at periods of time in my life, but I don't have to. It's a choice. We were given choice, absolute choice.
Yep.
And it's not going to be taken away.
Nope. We always
Just get
have.
to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Ah, I love that, Penny. That's beautiful. And oh my goodness. Like I've said, there's always just a beautiful point that somebody makes, and I'm like, ah, that's it. That's a beautiful stopping point because I want people to take that in.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to take that in. And that was beautiful. So
Thank you.
beautiful. I do like though to to put in my comment section and let people know, Penny, if they want to get a hold of you, because yeah, you're truly amazing. I love your singing. Um, but you're truly amazing. And, if they want to follow your journey or they want to get in touch with you, how would one do so?
Well, my Facebook page is inner dash strength with Christ. I haven't got my website going yet. I've been struggling with the technical difficulties of it, but
I just got mine going.
eventually I will have a web page that's inner dash strength with Christ also. It's it currently is up, but it just says, the standard hello world.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my web page because I haven't figured out how to do anything else.
It'll come to you. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me like seriously, it took me probably a good 3 days to do my website.
Oh, I've been working on it for a long time because I
And I'm
started in Mastermind before I joined 3P. But it is what it is. And then I switched to try doing it a different way. But
yeah.
I
Hey,
I, I
we
just
just
haven't
learned.
gotten along that well with technology, but I will get there
Yes, you will.
eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually. And when the time is right, and I just felt like, okay, I need to quit trying so hard to do the things that I'm struggling with and just let it happen and stick with Facebook. I'm going to be okay.
absolutely. Another beautiful point.
Yeah.
You will. Well, I'll put that in the comments for people to get a hold of you. And yeah, Penny, thank you so much. Like I really appreciate you coming on here, sharing your gifts, taking me through the grounding, which was beautiful, and you definitely need to record.
Yes.
Definitely need to record that. I really do appreciate your time, and I really do appreciate the conversation with you, and probably have you on again sometime.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I
I really
appreciate it. This is, yeah, I love this.
good. So, and if there's any last thoughts or any words of wisdom you want to leave, go ahead. If not, I will wrap it up.
Other than to say, because I did say this before we started recording, that when we're focusing on what we're good at, the weaknesses will come. We don't, because I spent too much of my life focusing on what I was challenged by, which was a good portion of where my anxiety came from. And when you focus at what, and then you gain confidence from focusing on what you're good at,
Yeah,
and the rest will come because we all have weaknesses, but they can become strengths.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, Penny, thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you
You're
everybody
welcome.
for watching. We'll see you on the next one.